Hello friends, it's Jim O'Rear. Welcome back to Jim O'Rear's Wacky World. Today we are going back to Seaworld for Howl-O-Scream Take 2. You may remember in our last video, in our last trip to Seaworld, we were rained out. We got to see like nothing. The rain shut everything down. The scare zones, the haunted houses, the rides, the shows, everything was canceled. So we got to show you very, very little of it. So SeaWorld invited us back for another try, and it was a blast. So take a look at what you can expect at SeaWorld's very first year of haunting at Howl-O-Scream Orlando. Howl-O-Scream has set up a completely separate entrance under this tent right here. It's just down the ways from the main entrance to SeaWorld, but it's a separate little entrance that has its own little queue line because they kind of cross over times with SeaWorld closing and Howl-O-Scream starting. So you go down a little bit to this other entrance and you get in queue here. Now these gates here open at 6 o'clock, but you really don't get into the park until 7. You can get through the gates and go in here, and this area right here will take you to kind of a large landing or holding area, basically. And there's things to see and do in the holding area if you just want to hang out. Like there's monsters in there hiding out behind things like that, and the monsters are pretty cool because they have little things on their hands and they slide up like that, and it makes noise and sparks. So it's kind of cool. They also in this holding area have entertainment like dancing girls, and there are a lot of dancing girls. I think it should be called Howl-O-Scream Dancing Girls Orlando Edition, because there's lots of dancing girls. So, but there's this cage of girls, and notice it goes on all day and all night because this is at night, that same cage, and the girls are still dancing. So there's that. Now, in this holding area also, there is a little bar if you want to start getting drunk ahead of time. And inside that bar here, which is called the Siren's Last Call, you'll see there are stages set up in various areas with more dancing girls. There are dancing girls all over the place, if you like dancing girls. They also do a show, this siren show right here. And this is in the main part of the park, and you'll see there's a big crowd right there. They have different stages set up in this area, and they do this big siren show with dancing girls and things like that. So there you go, lots of dancing girls and monster dancing girls. So getting away from the whole dancing girl thing now. All right, so when you go into the park, and they do actually open the set of gates where you can go into the attraction, you're transported from SeaWorld into the Howl-O-Scream event through this little creepy magical tunnel. And one time we went through here and there was somebody hiding in there, and hiding well. And now, like a lot of the other events, they have scream or scare zones basically that you walk through where there are monsters that try and get you. And I'm going to show you some of the monsters in the daytime. Later in the video I'll show you some of these areas in the dark. The dark is so dark in these areas. One of my main complaints is that you can't see a lot of the sets or a lot of the monsters in the dark and appreciate what they're doing. Yeah, they can hide from you in the dark very easily, but you can't see them. So I'm going to show you some of them here in the daylight. Here's the chainsaw crew going at it after these little girls that were just completely terrified. And this is a scare zone, and a lot of this area is lost in the dark. You can't see the details of like the bloody motorhome. It's kind of, you know, smoking, and the tents and things like that are destroyed. Even a lot of the makeup is lost. There is this werewolf, which is pretty cool looking makeup, but you can't see it in the dark. One of my favorite areas, though, is this bayou swamp area right here.
Come to the bayou.
She has really got to have no voice at the end of the night. But the bayou area is cool. There's creepy characters. The sets are really neat with these old shacks and things. They're kind of voodoo type characters. And then there's also whatever these are, fish people or sirens or something. I don't know, but they kind of are just all over the place going after people. And they're not afraid to get in your face, which is cool. It's kind of old school haunting, get right in your face, come out of nowhere and scare you. So we'll look at some more of that in the dark. But first, I gotta mention this show, the Monster Stomp Slasher Alley. This is a really cool show that they're doing in this theater, and it is a Jack the Ripper type storyline, and it's got real modern music. So it's very Hamilton-esque in that it's set in the past, but has a lot of modern music. The choreography is very similar, as well as the music to Hamilton.
I'm just a sucker for pain. I've been at it with my homies, systematic, you don't know me. I've been rolling with my team, be the illest on the scene. I've been riding around the city with my squad. I've been riding around the city with my squad. We've switched to get me crazy, live like this is so amazing. Hold up, take a step back when we roll up, cause we know what. We the loyal, we the friend, we the ones you trust in. Won't hesitate to go straight to your head. What's through the fire? Like you gon' try to. You in the world of mistakes, so we put the world on the shoulders. I still hear you making that sound, taking me down on the ground. You can pretend that it was me, but no.
They have 4 haunted houses open this year, and they're really well done. They are very detailed in the sets. They have a lot of really good actors. The actors in these are having a blast, and it's kind of set up like old school hauntings where you walk through the sets instead of just around the sets or by the sets and kind of look at the sets and the prettiness of them and things like that. You actually walk through these, you have to get through these, which forces you to be close to the actors, which makes it even more creepy and unsettling. So, and I'm not going to show you inside any of the haunts because I want you to be surprised, but they are really, really well done for the first year. And I know that, you know, Busch Gardens has been doing this for years and same company, but this is the first time at Seaworld and it's done really well. Now let's look at some of those scare zones in the dark. As you notice here, it's dark. It's really dark. And like I said, you kind of lose a lot of the detail. He looks like Johnny Depp. Kind of lose the detail and in the makeup and the sets and things like that because it is so dark. They really could have used a little bit more lighting in these scare zones. But what this does do is it allows the actors to come out of nowhere. I mean, you can't see them coming no matter what because they are hiding in every corner, under the fog, and it is so dark and disorienting that it does make the scaring a lot easier and creepy, but for somebody like me that likes to really look at the details of things, a lot of the detail gets lost, which is kind of a shame. But overall, SeaWorld has done a really good job with their first year Howl-O-Scream event from, see, there's a little actor hiding right there, but you never know where they're going to be. They've done a really good job their first year doing this, and the shows were great. The haunted houses were fantastic. Scare zones could use a little bit of work, but I do hope that they're around next year and we get to see a second year at SeaWorld. There you have it. Over there at SeaWorld, Howl-O-Scream, there is an overview of the event and what they're doing, and a look at some of the shows and things like that. For the very first year, it was really well done. The few things we experienced the first time on our rainout day, they had improved upon and made better, so they were learning very quickly from when we visited early on to what we did get to see this last round. So I encourage you to go check out Howl-O-Scream. You can do everything in a night. There's like, I think 4 scare zones, 4 haunted houses, and a couple of shows. So it is not like trying to run through a whole ton of things in an evening. You can do it in one night. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, click that like button to let the powers that be know that you like the video. And while you're at it, click on subscribe and you'll be subscribed and notified when I upload new videos. So thanks again for watching. We will see you next time.